What's up, legends? Before we begin, I want to ask you guys to please subscribe to this channel. We looked at our analytics, and the majority of you guys that are watching our videos are not subscribed. You guys have no idea how much it helps us out, and we really hope that this channel helps you guys out too. So please subscribe to this channel and leave your comments and likes below.
The DairyLand legends are here, and we apologize. We know we haven't put out any videos since, well, the end of last ice season, and we have a good reason.
Yeah, as a lot of you guys already figured, and most of you guys probably already know, Isaac and I are full-time college students and full-time employees, and we just really don't have a lot of free time at the moment. But luckily, we just wrapped up our last final, and we graduate with summa cum laude on Saturday. And so, yeah, we'll have all the time in the world to fish, and we're going to dedicate that all to you guys. Stay tuned.
So we got something special planned for you guys today in today's video. In honor of the ice fishing season kicking off, we'll be showing you guys the absolute best way to set up your tip-ups for walleye. And we get a question a lot in the comments and just people that we see every day. They want to know how they can catch walleye.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, I hear it all the time. Tyler, how do I catch walleye? Like, where do I go on a new lake? How do I scout a new lake? How deep do I fish? Just how do I catch walleye? And this video is going to show you exactly how to do that.
So you guys stay tuned. We'll be bringing you guys how to set your tip-ups up for walleye and how to find walleye on a lake that maybe you guys haven't fished before. But stay tuned. You guys are going to like what you see. Guys, just a disclaimer. This video is about specifically how to set up your tip-ups for walleye. We will be bringing you guys a video on how to set up a jigging setup for walleye too. So don't worry, we got you covered.
Stay tuned. All right, guys, you already know. The only tip-up we use is the Beaver Dam tip-up.
Guys, Beaver Dam makes the best tip-ups money can buy, as it says right on the package. And they don't lie. My grandpa's been using these tip-ups for 50 years, and he's got tip-ups that are 3 times older than I am, and they work like a charm, and he still catches mondos on them. And so the Beaver Dam tip-up has the smoothest spool. They're just made out of quality materials, and they won't let you down. They won't freeze up. That's the biggest thing. They will not freeze up even in the coldest conditions. I believe we were fishing on Mille Lacs last winter in negative 40-degree wind chill, and the Beaver Dams still went off, and they still produced.
They still caught mondos. And I actually can attest to this. I am actually transitioning. I used to use fray bills, but I'm transitioning to Beaver Dam. And I was just fishing last weekend, and I had a fish grab the fray bill. I watched the flag go up. I ran over to it, and I could tell that there was resistance. And as soon as I picked up the tip up, there was no fish because that fish felt the resistance and dropped it. And then I had a Beaver Dam probably 10, 20 yards away. That fish, I had 10 flags and I caught 10 fish. Not a single fish dropped the minnow. So that just goes to show how good the Beaver Dams actually are. And just a side note, we are not yet sponsored by Beaver Dam, but look for us to be sponsored in the future.
Yeah, guys, stay tuned. We'll be bringing you all the action on the Beaver Dams this winter. All right, guys, so when we set up our tip-ups, a few different materials we use real quick. We prefer anywhere from 25 to 50 pound tip-up line. Just comes in a 50-yard spool. There's many different brands you can use. Tyler, show them what hooks we like to use.
So at the end of our leaders, we like to use either treble hooks or single hooks for walleye. I know it might seem kind of out there for some of you guys that strictly use treble hooks, but single hooks do work. For our single hooks, we use a number 1 or 2. And lately red hook has been working really well. And then for treble hooks, we use a size 8 or 10. And our preferred brand is Gamakatsu, but obviously any brand will work.
Yeah, and we just prefer to put a split shot down. Honestly, you want your split shot to be anywhere from 6 to 8 inches out. We'll show you that when we show you our tip up. And then we prefer, for a leader material, either fluorocarbon or monofilament. 10 pound is preferred, but you can go lighter or heavier depending on, it just depends on water clarity and what your comfort level is and your skill level, honestly. So
yeah, without further ado, let's get into the setup.
So here's a tip up, brand new beaver dam, USA, probably the best edition in my opinion. But aside from that, here's the setup. Tyler, you want to hold the tip up?
Yep.
Here's what we got going. So right now I have tied on, as I said, 10-pound monofilament. In the split shot, as you can see, I've got a single hook, size 1, and the split shot's tied up. I've got it tied up about 8 inches right now. You can switch that up depending on how active the fish are. Sometimes they want a more active minnow, sometimes they don't want to work as hard. And when I tie my leaders, it's all personal preference, but I like a good 6-foot long leader. So I prefer to have plenty of leader material, especially fishing in clear water, which a lot of clear water lakes have walleyes. So you don't want to have a super short leader because then they'll see your black tip-up line and it might scare them away. But that's kind of the basic setup that we got going. And I like to tie mine in. So I don't use a swivel. I actually tie mine right in, like so. If you guys want to see how this knot is done right here, I can show you guys in another video. Just request down below in the comments, and I'd be more than happy to make that for you guys.
And here's my tip-up setup. So I have probably a 5-foot leader tied on, and I'm using 8-pound fluorocarbon due to its abrasion resistance. And on the end of it, I have a size 10 Gamakatsu treble hook. And then probably about 6 inches from there, I have a size 4 split shot. And then tied to the end of that, I have 2 barrel swivels, and preferably you would use a ball bearing swivel because they're smoother. But the reason I use swivels is because when the fish is swimming around and it's spinning the line, the barrel or the swivel will spin with the minnow and it won't get twisted in the line. It'll be a much more natural presentation. The other reason I use that is because, as you can see, there's a quick snap attached. So if I want to switch out leaders and go for pike or go for something else, all I gotta do is take that and unbutton it, and then I have just plain tip-up line to hook up another leader to.
All right, for those of you that are just getting started ice fishing, we're just gonna show you guys how to set your tip-ups in the hole. Not many people discuss this, and we think this would be really good for those who are just beginning. So basically, there's a heavy and a light setting on the beaver dam. The thicker side's the heavy, and the thinner side's the light setting. So depending on wind conditions or what type of fish you're going for, typically for walleye, we'll put it on the light setting. So stick her down like that. And basically how this works, guys, to tip up, the minnow will be down here swimming like this. So the minnow will be swimming around, and then a fish, once they get interested, one will come from the side and hit it. Okay, so they got the hook and the minnow, and then they'll just start swimming around real slow like this, and then it pops, and then the spindle spins. So depending on how fast that fish is swimming, so if it's swimming really fast, it'll look like that. And basically, when that tip-up's spinning is when you want to take the fish. You never want to take it when it's not moving. So you always just want to time it good, and that's how you use the tip-up.
All right, guys, now for the moment we've all been waiting for. How do we catch walleye on the ice? Well, now we're going to talk about where to set up and how to look at a new lake for ice fishing walleye. So basically what you want to look for walleye is in the fall period, kind of transition from fall to winter, kind of that period that we're in right now. There'll be 2 bites for walleye. There'll be a deeper, kind of rocky gravel bite, and there'll also be a shallower weed bite. And you don't see that towards midwinter to late winter because the walleye are pushed deep because that's just what they do. But right now there's a weed bite, so walleye will move up shallow into probably 10 to 14 foot of water. So when you're fishing this kind of bite, you want to look for the weed line. So if you have an underwater camera, that is awesome. Otherwise, you can look for on your contour maps. You can look for a gradual slope, and then where it breaks off, you can put that's basically where the weed line is. So that's where you want to set your tip ups. And then the second bite is your deeper water bite on rocks, gravel, or transitions between muck to gravel or muck to rock. And the way you find those is the same way. If you look for steep breaks in the water where the contour lines are super, super close together. Setting up right in the bottom of those is a great place to start. All right, guys, so here's a lake that we picked out. And what I was explaining with the later winter bite is that right here would be a spot that would be good for walleye anywhere on this shelf. As you can see, it breaks right here. So there's a steep break. Probably the weed line's probably right here at the top of this break. Then it comes down to a shelf right at around 24 feet. And that probably 24 to 28 feet is right where walleye love to be. So this would be a great spot. Even later in the winter, you could come down here to this deeper valley, and then later at night you could move up onto this hump. 25 goes up to 21. That would be a good spot to look for walleye. And then let's look over here. Even places like right here where it goes down gradually, right in here in this saddle would be a good spot. Even anywhere around this hump honestly looks like a good spot because walleye are going to come up to this place to feed later at night or earlier in the morning. So yeah, that's kind of what you want to look for. Right here in this saddle will be a good spot too. But yeah, and if all else fails, you could literally go to a break like this and fish anywhere on the bottom of this break because that's where the walleye are going to travel. They're going to travel from here and just follow the basin all the way across this break. And they're going to do that to eventually, later at night and earlier in the morning, move up on shelves like these and humps like these to feed. So that's where you want to set up when you're fishing for walleye.
All right, guys, so a key point to make here before we end this video is how high do you want to set your tip-ups off the bottom when fishing for walleye? Our preference, and just from being in the field and testing this out on the ice, 1.5 feet or a foot off the bottom. You want your minnow about 1.5 feet off the bottom, and that's ideal for walleye. They typically just come along the bottom, and then they'll see your minnow, and they'll kind of go up to it, and that just seems to be the sweet spot. We hope that this tip helps, and we hope you guys have a lot of luck catching walleye this year.
Yeah, if you guys found this video informational, let us know in the comments below. And if you guys have any questions about specific lakes that you'd like help with, we'd be more than happy to help you out with that. So just leave a name in the lake in the comments below, and we will try to point you guys in the right direction. Obviously, we're not going to be giving away our honey holes and our sweet spots, but we will try to help you guys out the best as possible because the more tight lines, the better.
We know this video might not have been the most entertaining. However, you guys better stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and like the video because we're going to have some legendary content coming to you soon on the ice. We're hoping to get out real soon. We'll bring it to you guys as soon as we can. We can't wait. We're pumped. We're fired up. Let's go.
All right, guys, again, thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It helps us out a lot, and we hope it helps you guys out a lot too. And as always, keep those lines tight.